Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a quick video. Sorry for the fuzzy camera, but the thing is about to die. So, I'm about to get a new camera, but I'm going to do the best I can. Alright, this happens to be the Stihl MS 170. You can see there. This is the saw you get when there's the Stihl dealer days. You can get the saw, I think it's for like 180 or something like that. And it comes with everything you see in front of you. So you get the saw, which is a pretty decent saw. It's got a 16-inch blade and a scrunch. I have maybe 20 to 60 hours on this thing. I don't know for sure. I mean, you can look at the bar and see it's got some wear starting here. It's been through probably a dozen chains or so. You can also look and see muffler's starting to get dark. So I've got some use on it. And I can give you a pretty honest opinion of what I think of it. First of all, it needs a primer. That's the biggest thing it needs. If you so happen to be unfortunate to run this thing out of fuel, or your first start from a dry tank, it takes forever to start it because you are sucking fuel from the tank up into the carburetor. It is a pain. It'd be very simple for them to fix a primer bulb, somewhere simple like there, where you can prime it, get the fuel to where it needs to be for those first time starts. Second thing that's a pain, now I know this is a low buck, this is your entry level, consumer level saw. The blade tension is here, this little screw. You can barely see it because the camera sucks. The nicer saws, the blade tensioner is here. Why not on this one? Because you're already right here with the scrunch, loosening your nuts so you can adjust your tension. All you gotta do is put your scrunch there, tighten it. No, this one you gotta do this, and you gotta fight to get it in here and adjust. That's one thing I don't like. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. It's not very hard to start once you keep fuel in it. If you let it run out of fuel, it's a real bugger to start. It's super easy to maintain. Air filter's just under this cover. You use the scrunch quarter turn, it comes off. Spark plug's under there too. It's easy to do. It's just your regular 16-inch chains. You can get it like on this one. I have an aggressive cut chain. It does it, but it does bog down quite easy. So you have to use no down pressure, but it will cut through it super quick. You can also, if you put non-aggressive or standard chain on there, you push down on it all you want, it won't really bog down. So it's got a decent amount of power. I mean, it's not a powerhouse. Anything you can fit across this bar, it will cut. I've cut pecan with it, I've cut oak, I've cut gum trees, I've even cut pine trees, that's why it's kind of stained. I've cut cherry with this, all of them it cut just fine. I haven't had any problems. As far as oiling, I've been using Echo brand bar and chain oil. For some reason, I don't know why, but it has a fruit smell when it starts getting hot. Like this specific batch is purple. It smells kind of like grape. I don't know why. Otherwise, your oilers here, you can use the scrunch to loosen it or tighten it, because for some reason they get to where you can't hand do it anymore. Mixed fuel is here. I think it's 40 to 1. I have a bunch of Stihl equipment that all uses the same. As far as starting it, make sure your blade safety is set. So blade safety's on. You have your on switch. You squeeze the safety, squeeze the trigger down to 2. Pull, it'll kick over a little bit. Flip this to number 1. Pull, it'll release that. It's at idle. It's ready to go. Take your blade safety off. You're ready to cut some wood. When you're ready to shut her down, flip it all the way up. It's that simple. If you try and flip this down without squeezing the throttle, you'll break the little thingy off. Other than that, that's about it. Noise level, it's quieter than some saws, louder than others. I happen to have this old Macula here, and I have another one in the back, an older model. They're like deafeningly loud because they have like no muffler on them. This has a pretty good muffler. Plus, if you're cutting a big log, the muffler's right up against the log, so it muffles a lot of the sound. I'd still suggest, hearing protection and eye protection and all of that, but it's not really necessary. As far as kickback goes, for its size, it's still a pretty weighty saw. Like, I wouldn't use it in a tree. but if you hit the end of the blade, it'll kick back a little bit, but it's not going to be just some monster, kickback, hitting you in the face. Still try and be prepared and be safe with it. My final remarks before I go, I would suggest buying a bunch of spare chains to go with it. Keep you some oil, and then I sharpen my own chains with a file. So just pick up from your dealer. It's $5, at least at my local dealer. For a file kit, they're all the same. They're just, new ones. Sharpen your chain. Have a sharp chain every time you use it, and this thing will do flawlessly for small to medium work. I've taken down a full-size pecan tree with this tree. Now, not all the way down to the stump. I've taken all the limbs off of it. It's still the stump. We had to use a larger saw to be able to take the stump out, but I was cutting limbs a little bit longer than the bar, so a little wider than the bar, cutting from one side than the other. Now, granted, I was felling it from a man lift, and I was felling, 2 foot long pieces at a time, so it was taking forever. It did fine. As far as fuel usage goes, under heavy use, so say if you cut a limb off a tree and you're limbing it, cleaning it up, taking it into small pieces, you got maybe 40 minutes of fuel on there, of moderate to heavy use. So that's all I've got for you today. Once again, sorry about the fuzzy camera. The thing is on its way out. Hopefully I'll have a new camera soon for more reviews in the future. But if you like this video, found it informative, questions, comments, whatever, comment, rate, subscribe. Have an awesome day.